If you've heard Olivia Rodrigo's new single, you've probably observed that it sounds a little, maybe a lot, like Radiohead. I'm going to tell you why, and also why this chord progression has caused so much trouble over the years. Hit like and subscribe and we'll get into it. Okay, Olivia Rodrigo has put out the first single of her forthcoming sophomore album, Guts. It's called Vampire, and it's a ballad that turns into a club banger. But a common reaction before the lyrics even entered the song was, sounds a little Radiohead-y. Take a listen to the intro. Yeah, so the reason this sounds like Radiohead is because it has the same chord progression as Radiohead's biggest song, Creep. But there are tons of songs that have the same chord progression, and most of the time, people don't detect, hey, this is the same chord progression as this. So why this one? Why does this make you think Radiohead when you hear it? Honestly, I think it's just because it's a little more creative than a lot of these super common chord progressions like 1, 5, 6, 4. 2 of the 4 chords in this chord progression don't technically belong in the key. It starts with the 1 chord, as most chord progressions do, then goes to a major 3 chord, which is not in the key, but a secondary dominant, then goes to the 4 chord, which is in the key, before ending on a minor 4 chord, which is borrowed from the parallel key. So you hear this chord progression and you think, normal, normal, and you also think, Radiohead. I'm guilty of it. It's what I thought when this song started. Everyone's guilty of it. When you hear a 1, a major 3, and then a 4, you don't even need to hear the minor 4 before Creep is in your head. I've contended for a while that Radiohead has a mental monopoly on the major 3 chord. But this progression has caused a lot of strife over the years. Not only did Radiohead sue Lana Del Rey for using it in her song Get Free back in 2018, Radiohead got sued for using it in the first place. Creep was released in 1992 as Radiohead's first single, but the use of the 1 major 3, 4 minor 4 progression led the publisher of the band the Hollies from the 60s and 70s, you might know them from their song He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, It Rules, to sue Radiohead for using the same chord progression that was used in the Hollies song The Air That I Breathe. It is worth noting Radiohead didn't use the exact same chord progression as the Hollies. The Hollies used 1 major 3, 4 minor 4, so same chords, same order, but then went back to end the progression on the 1. Radiohead, Lana Del Rey, Olivia Rodrigo, all of these artists are just using those first 4 chords. So Radiohead kind of altered the Hollies chord progression. Lana Del Rey and Olivia Rodrigo, for all intents and purposes, used the same progression as Radiohead. They all do the Creep thing. The Hollies and Radiohead settled out of court, but royalties and co-writing credits were given to the 2 members of the Hollies for Creep. Now, this Olivia Rodrigo single just came out, so who knows if she and co-writer and producer Dan Nigro, who is excellent by the way, should be expecting any sort of call from Radiohead over this chord progression, but there is precedent on behalf of Radiohead and even against Radiohead when it comes to legal action involving this chord progression. I'll tell you what though, it's a good song, just like Creep is, just like The Air That I Breathe is. I don't really remember the Lana Del Rey song, but I do like this Olivia Rodrigo song. Typically everything Olivia Rodrigo puts out is pretty good, and I think that Dan Nigro should be working with more young artists. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the things you're supposed to do, and also go over to the Brunch YouTube page where you can see more of my content there.